Any rich guy, myself included, that tells you that like this is a replicable strategy is lying to you, okay? They're lying. If you don't do that, then and you're just simply selfish and decide, you know, I've got mine, fuck everybody else, then yeah, we're not going to advance. We're not going to be a society that reaches Mars one day. We're just going to continue along this really scary trajectory. Holy, that is so crazy. Gary has been popping off a lot. Gary's economics. A lot of chatters like him. I think he's all right. You know, I haven't really seen too much of his stuff, but apparently his video went super viral. Let's take a look.
I think the reality is for kids from poor backgrounds.
I genuinely think it's because he's British. I'm like, I honestly, the thing that's like stopping me from fully subscribing to Gary is that he's British, even though one of my favorite politicians is a British man, obviously Jeremy Corbyn. And I love Mick Lynch too. Like there are plenty of British people that I do love, but when I first encounter a British man, especially one who I think went to London School of Economics, which my dad went to as well, there is literally like a little bit of bravophobia in me where I'm like, I can't trust you. I don't know what it is. Like I have a little bit of an Anglophobia where it takes a while. It takes a while for me to cozy up to an Angloid, basically describing racism against the Brits.
It is almost impossible to realistically get even financial security, never mind wealth.
But why do you think you could do it, I could do it, he could do it, but you don't think other people could do it?
I won every maths competition I've ever been in. You know what I mean? Since I was a little kid, I was one of the top students at LSE, and I still had to win my job by cheating in a card game. You know, that's the world that we live in. I don't think that's a very replicable strategy.
What I see is most often the people who do really well financially who are young, they dropped out of school, they dropped out of university, they started learning.
Any rich guy, myself included, that tells you that you fucking that tells you that like this is a replicable strategy is lying to you. Okay, they're lying. Yeah, he did go to LSE, London School of Economics. They're lying or they're fucking deluded. Okay, this guy might be a little bit of both. Might be doing a little bit of both. I think he's more so just like lying though. The whole like, oh, everyone dropped out of school and we're autodidacts and that's how they made millions of fucking quid. Like, no. They're lying. They're either exhibiting survivor's bias or they're just straight up fucking lying to you, okay? You cannot overcome probability. There is so much luck involved, especially with this with this current organization of the economy. For someone to uplift themselves from the very bottom rungs of society, become like a super wealthy person, is just luck. It's pure luck. Sure, you have to work really fucking hard, okay? Fine. But without luck, you are not going to get carried across the finish line. That's it. That's it. It's so stupid. Meritocracy is a lie. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in currently if I didn't have an affluent beginning. I would not be in this position if I wasn't also lucky on top of the luck that I had being born into a family where I never had to worry about finances when I was going to school. It's so stupid. Are there people that actually go from the bottom rungs of society, like Gary himself, all the way to the tippy top? Yes. But even that requires a tremendous amount of fucking luck. And people who are not there literally fantasize about getting there one day, so they get fucking mad at people like me for telling them the truth. It is so weird. It's like whenever I encounter a chatter that defends capitalism vociferously without owning any fucking capital. You said billionaire father? No, my father's not a billionaire, dumbass. I love that though. I love that people say, "Yeah, my dad is a billionaire." AI articles are a blight on society, especially with how fucking stupid people are nowadays. Anyway, so getting back to the point I was making, it almost feels like a lot of people who defend capitalism but don't have any capital want me to fucking advocate for capitalism. They're like, please tell me a lie instead. Please. Why are you not telling me a lie? Why aren't you telling me that, like, you know, as long as you do Sigma Grindset, like, you're going to be fine. Everyone's going to be fine. Yeah, I work hard. I still work hard to a degree that everyone says is unsustainable and also very damaging to my mental health. All jokes aside, I have tremendous fulfillment that I get out of what I do, so it's not like real work, and it's also not real work in the sense that it's not backbreaking labor, for example. Having said that, it's not because I stream fucking 10 hours every day that is the reason why I'm as successful as I am. That factors into it, sure, but it's also luck. It's a shit ton. It is a shit ton of luck that factored in to this equation.
How to do things by doing their own research. They start their own business or co-found a business. They take a very alternative path. When people sidestep that and say, okay, I'm not going to get into university debt, I'm just going to go off and actually figure out how the world works, there's actually loads of opportunities.
Okay, so I guess we've sorted it then. All of our viewers need to do just be more entrepreneurial. It's as simple as that. More entrepreneurial, start a business. Listen, my friends can't feed their kids, okay? And if it was as simple as going out and being an entrepreneur, I can bet you they would do it. I'm sick of multimillionaires telling kids who can't afford to turn the heating on, you just need to be more entrepreneurial. It's sick, Dan. It's sick. But I speak this.
Oh, damn, he's spitting. I agree. Holy shit.
This gives people mental illness. It gives people mental illness.
The thing that I know that gives people mental health issues is feeling that they have no agency in their life, that they can't do anything. Your video where you talk about if you don't have a rich dad, you're screwed. There's no such thing as meritocracy. You're never going to be successful. To me, if I had have come across your content at 19, 20 years old, I would have been screwed. I'm so glad that I came across people who said, Daniel, you weren't born into a rich family. You don't have any bank of mum and dad, but it's cheap and easier than ever to start a business. Start by working for someone who's got a business, then figure out what's your opportunity. And there's a way. There is a way. I'm not saying everyone ends up as a millionaire, and I'm not saying everyone ends up equal, but I'm saying you can make improvements in your life. And the thing that causes mental health issues is the feeling of having no agency or no control.
Okay, the last part of this argument is correct. It's just not about overcoming systematic hurdles. Okay? I also say the same thing. He's presenting a false dichotomy here. These things are not mutually, I mean, these things are exclusive from one another, okay? What he's presenting to you. There are things that are within your control in your life, okay? And you should work to improve them because that will give you some semblance of control and that will help you become more confident, okay? What you do with your body, your diet, your health, these are things that, albeit with a tremendous amount of structural hurdles, you can still clear them as long as you repeat the same good strategies over and over and over again every single day, okay? That part is correct, and I think that is very good and healthy to do, okay? But working hard for another person or in the gig economy is not going to elevate your financial status magically. That part is bullshit, okay? Does it happen? Sure, of course it does. Does it happen along every fucking... Does it happen to every single person and that every single person that is currently poor is poor because they just simply didn't Sigma Grindset hard enough? Of course not. It's fucking bullshit. That, unironically, I think causes more mental damage for people because then they just keep chasing this dragon that they will never reach over and over again and constantly say, oh, it's because I just didn't work hard enough. It's a fucking lie. That actually fucks people's brains up way further. It causes them to look for wrong answers over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, this is a great take. Exactly. Where is it? Is he saying be a slave until it's your turn to be the master? It's kind of what he's saying, right? But the real goal should be to have no more slave masters and no more slaves. The goal should be to abolish this slave master dichotomy, or dialectic, if you will, rather. There's a better term for it. Instead of looking at the current structure and saying, one day I will no longer be a slave, but instead be a slave master.
All over your circumstances until the world changes the whole economic system.
I've never said don't work hard, okay? When I brought my book out last year, the hardback, I was at some event and I come out, I was drinking in London Bridge. And I come out late, it was like 1 a.m. And some guy come up to me when I was unlocking my bike. He said, I've been watching you on YouTube. This guy started crying. On the street, right, in front of me. He's like, I work so hard, Gary. I work 2 jobs. My mum's sick and I'm trying to help. I'm trying to support and I don't understand why. And I'm sorry that I'm crying, but nobody ever told me that it wasn't my fault before. That's what he said to me, okay? And listen. I believe 100% aspiration, ambition, entrepreneurial spirit. I would never see a kid that has that and say, turn it off, okay? But the flip side of if you just work hard enough, you can make it, is if you didn't make it, it's because you didn't work hard enough and it's your fault. And I would like you to sit and think very hard before you send that message to young men and young women in our society.
I am tired that rich person means they are good, work the hardest and successful. If you're poor means you're not working hard or good. Money and status doesn't mean you're good. Yes, and in many instances, money and status oftentimes comes when you're bad, when you're being a bad boy, when you're being a real bad boy. Okay? Like, I think the truth is somewhere in between both of these things that were presented, which is that there are things that you can change in your life to improve your standing and to improve your mental health. Oftentimes we feel completely powerless, understandably, because we recognize our powerlessness in the face of such unimaginable cruelty. So that's why I always say work within and look within yourself and change the things that you have the power to change no matter what, even though there will be hurdles to clear, right? And the poorer you are, the harder those hurdles are to clear. Having said that, however, the reason why I advocate for self-improvement of that sort is so that you can be a stronger soldier that can then, piece by piece, dismantle the current existing hierarchies that bind us. It is still for a higher purpose in that regard. Because if you don't do that, then, and you're just simply selfish and decide, I've got mine, fuck everybody else, then yeah, we're not going to advance. We're not going to be a society that reaches Mars one day, or we're not going to be a society that eliminates the damage of anthropogenic climate change. We're just going to continue along this really scary trajectory. Who cares about Mars? I think it's cool. I care about it. But yeah, shouts out to Gary. The first person who put me on Gary was, what's his face? The one who escaped the alt-right pipeline, whose videos are solid. We watched it. Jimmy the Giant. Yeah, Jimmy the Giant. Jimmy the Giant loves Gary. Loves him. God damn, dude. Holy shit.